Guys, before I get into today's video, I would just like to ask some of you guys to really stand up for me because, as you might know, I've been demonetized. I've been constantly demonetized over the years. I rarely make anything off YouTube because of the truth that I speak. Some people inside the parasite up north think that I am dangerous. And for some reason, I just can't learn to behave myself. Because I always just feel like the truth must be told. Anyway, let me make this quick. I have this brand of T-shirts. I was selling them about over a year ago. But I had stopped, but I've brought them back online and I am selling these T-shirts. And they're only $23 to $25 US dollars per unit. And that includes shipping to anywhere in the world. Can't get a better deal than this. The reason for the word miserable is because me get miserable when things not right and me talk it up. And I am a rebel because I do not conform to the political or religious ideals that keep people's minds trapped. So my purpose is to free up people's minds, helping them to point them in the direction where they can emancipate themselves from mental slavery. Guys, I would really like you to support me by buying one of my shirts. And if you purchase it local or want to come in and pick up from a point in Kingston, if you are in Jamaica, you can do so. But my overseas peeps, the link is in the description below. Just go down to the description and make your purchase. And you can get them in any color as long as it's black. Come on, they only come in black. And by the way, there's an extra special deal. The ones with the word miserable, those sold about twice as fast as the one with the face. So I did have some of that first set left over. And I have about 15, maybe 18. I haven't even checked them, but I know it's about that. And if you buy one of just the word miserable, I will throw in one of the one with the face at no extra charge. So the first 15 to 18 persons who purchase my shirts, you will actually get 2 for 1, and I'm not even asking for any extra shipping charges. Please support me, because if we as black people cannot support our own enlightenment, then basically we deserve for the slave masters to continue keeping their knee in our necks. If me have to depend on YouTube, who are the slave master, for pay me and keep me to toe the line for help to keep on in bondage, then we don't deserve to come out of bondage, brethren. Talk the truth. Anyway, the link is in the comment section, and if you need to, and if you want to contact me for the link, I can send the link directly to your phone. If you just send me a text or voice note to this number, I can just send you the link and you can just purchase it from your phone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, let me get into today's video. And to let you all know that as a patriot, it is my primary duty in life is to support my country. And anything good that's happening in my country, I need to support it. Because I've always said country first. And you cannot be an upright person if you choose party over country. As you know, I've always spoken about fanatics. Let me repeat, fanatics cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be persuaded to do something over and above what they have already set their mind to. Logic doesn't matter to them, rational doesn't matter to them, common sense doesn't matter to them, reason doesn't matter to them, truth doesn't matter to them, evidence does not matter to a fanatic. Just blind loyalty to whatever position they hold in politics or in religion. Anyway, now let me get into the meat of the matter. Why I said all that. I said it to say this. This morning, there was an interview on Richie B Radio. And the two persons who were called in were Kevin O'Brien Chang and Henene Davis Whyte. We all know Kevin O'Brien Chang, political commentator, political and social commentator, and Henene Davis Whyte, also political and social communicator and also a trade unionist. Now, Richie B had called them in for their take on the nationwide news network Blue Dot poll findings. And as you will see from the video, Kevin O'Brien Chang was extremely lucid and fluent, rational, logical, and very eloquent in delivering his commentary on the situation. Should I say, on the topic, on the discussion. Now, Henene Davis Whyte, on the other hand, and as you will see from the interview, from her commentary, you will see that she was under extreme pressure. But what was the topic? The topic was the Blue Dot poll, which shows that the JLP is 51% ahead nationwide. You are going to see that she had a hard time, an extremely hard time, just to recount the facts of the matter. All of the positives, the many positives. She couldn't, the word just stuck in her throat. She could not enunciate them. She could not form one fluent sentence throughout the entirety. Throughout the entirety. No, it's like the words, the truth, the facts, the evidence was just stuck in her throat and she had a hard time spitting them out. And I honestly do believe that this is one of the most excruciatingly painful interview that anybody on planet Earth could ever have. But I'm going to ask you all to make up your mind and tell me if Henene Davis Whyte is not a fanatic. Tell me that this is somebody who loves their country. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Now, take a listen.
Essence, it's now time for the big story. So a recent nationwide Blue Dot poll shows that 51% of registered Jamaican voters believe the governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, is best equipped to address the country's main problems, including crime and unemployment and the cost of living. This represents a 14-point jump since February and a 23-point increase since February 2023. The opposition People's National Party has also seen a rise in public confidence, but still trails the JLP by some 19 points. Joining us for a discussion this morning is, of course, political commentators Henene Davis Whyte and Kevin O'Brien Chang. Good morning, Henene, and good morning, Kevin. How are you both doing today?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Kevin.
Thank you so much for joining me, Kevin. What do you believe accounts for the 51% of respondents expressing confidence in the JLP's ability to run the country at this time?
One word: crime. For donkey years, ever since I know myself, the biggest issue in Jamaica has been crime, except during COVID. And now we have some almost miraculous numbers, hard to believe. The current murder rate, if you take it, extrapolate it till the end of the year, will end up under 700 murders. It's running like at 685, around that range. If you take days, 144 days so far, up to May 24th, I believe, that Sunday. So if you take that over 365 days, you're looking at under 700, which is simply unbelievable. It will be the lowest number in 30 years. And it's hardly likely to change, you know. I follow these numbers closely, and how when you have a trend like that, you rarely see the murders per day change. If you start off like, you know, it's over 1/3 of the year. So Jamaicans are feeling safer than they have in 30 years. I ask around, I talk to people, are you feeling safer? Everybody says yes. I mean, can't take victory laps yet. Still a lot to be done, but As I said, Jamaicans' overwhelming wish is always, we want to feel safe. We want a government that will keep us safe, keep our children safe. And despite we have seen a few incidents with children, rapes are also down 60% in the last 10 years. So Jamaicans have not felt this safe in 30 years, and it is not surprising at all that is translating into higher trust for the government, because it's one thing they've been asking for all along: keep me and my children safe. And we are seeing it happen.
Helene, do you agree with Kevin that crime is the major factor in this, or is it a reflection of overall governance or a lack of confidence in the opposition?
I think crime may play a part, but I don't think it plays that much of a part in the confidence levels in the government. I think what is happening, what has happened since the last poll and this one, is that certainly at the time when the last polls were conducted, we had a lot of problems coming out of the Integrity Commission reports and so on. And so there were a lot of persons who were expressing lack of confidence in the government, as well as the fact that, in the last year or so, we have seen, I think probably government in election mode have started to roll out some of the promises that were made over the years. And, as a result, I think persons would begin to express more confidence in the government. I think a lot of what we are seeing in Jamaica generally is the fact that, and I think one of the points that you made, while there has been some lack of confidence in the government, there has not been, it has not reflected in the confidence in the opposition increasing in any great way. And so, a lot is dependent on what is happening at any point in time. And so, because of that, I think, we will see the probably mild fluctuations, because there is an inherent, I think, lack of trust in officialdom in Jamaica, generally speaking, particularly amongst our young people. And I think some of that is reflected in the figures for both the opposition and the government.
Kevin, how significant is this 51% approval in the context of upcoming elections or the current political climate?
Well, we don't know why the people will vote, right? But I don't think I've ever seen over 50% confidence in a government. I'd have to go check out the figures, but I don't remember seeing that ever. And more than 50% say they have trust. And crime, I think, is by far the biggest issue. The numbers show it. I mean, it's always been, every single poll has always shown crime is the biggest issue. But I'm telling you, if in 2016, February, when the Honest government came to power, people had told me we would be where we are now, I wouldn't have believed them. Let me give you a few stats. The poverty rate is down 61% from 2015 to 2025. It was 21% 2015, now 8%, record low. Unemployment was 13.5%, it's now 3.7%, down 73%, record low. Debt to GDP was 131%, it's down to 65 now, estimated. Down 50%, a record low. The murder rate was 44 per 100,000. It's now running at 24, extrapolating, down 46%, lowest in 30 years. The NIR, the debt to GDP is lowest in 30 years, that record low. All right? The NIR was 2.4 billion US, 2015, now it's 5.9, up 140%, a record high. The minimum wage, real terms, was 51 US dollars in 2015. Now it's 100, record high. So I've seen almost miraculous numbers. I said I wouldn't have believed this if somebody had told me it would happen. And a government gets trust by performing. If you perform and give the people what they want, why would they not trust you? There's been a low trust in governance in Jamaica because the government in the past have not delivered. Unemployment has been a huge problem all along. Poverty has been a huge problem. Crime has been a huge problem. The three biggest things. I want to feel safe. I want to have a job. I want not to go hungry. And this government, say what, the numbers don't lie. This is not opinions I'm talking here. No. These are facts from Statin. Who doesn't believe them? I don't know what you're going to believe. So they have earned their trust by delivering good governance, or better than the past.
Helene, how should we really interpret this 51% as we're talking about it in terms of public confidence? Is it a strong mandate, or is it sort of a warning sign that public support is somewhat fragile?
I think it is probably a combination. I tell you why. The truth is that the Jamaican electorate, Jamaican population, I think tends to be influenced a lot by what is happening at any particular point in time. And so because of that, you know, if, as Kevin says, the government is delivering as was promised, then people will indicate that they have confidence in the government, because the truth is that, you know, our population tends to look at things based on what is happening at any particular point in time. So it can, as a result of that, become be seen as quite fickle, because if things change drastically from one period to another, you're going to have those fluctuations. So people are not remaining on, you know, sort of convinced that any political party will always do what they say they are going to do. And, you know, in the past, people would be expressing their support based on the fact that they supported the philosophy of that the parties were exposing. You have very little of that now, so people are talking about what is it that you are delivering. And so because of that, it can be seen as fickle, because if there is any little bump and they are not seeing what was promised in terms of the delivery, then they are not going to be expressing that kind of confidence. So it is good for the JLP at this point in time, but if there is anything between now and September when elections are expected, then you may get persons expressing a different opinion, and so it's very important. And I think that is what the JLP has recognized. So they are out there on the road now, really opening water supply work, dealing with roads, the big thing down in St. Thomas. And so because of things like that, people will express some kind of confidence in the government at this point.
Kevin, I know that you both have another engagement, but do things like what is going on with Dr. Dawes pushing this matter of the purchase of a drill, which he believes was overpriced, are those the kinds of things that could shake the confidence and see lowering of numbers in terms of confidence going forward for the government?
I don't think so. I mean, we hear these things every minute, this and that scandal, this and that accusations, and we don't know the proof. But the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm safer, I have a job, and I have more food I have food to eat. You're giving me those, so I'm going to feel good. The talk is talking, they can talk all they want. But what in the end have you delivered? Have you fulfilled your promises? And you only promise I'm going to give you jobs, I'm going to make you safer, I'm going to I'm going to less poor in the country. Those have happened. Even he talked about sleep with the windows open. People are mocking him. Well, we aren't there yet, but are you feeling safer, Richie?
Yeah, we all are feeling safer.
Everybody feeling safer.
Yeah, once the crime is
so we're
down.
almost reaching there. So as I said, if I promise you these things and deliver, trust comes from fulfilling promises.
Yes.
Private and public life. You trust somebody because they said I'm going to do this and they do it.
Yes.
This man has come closest to any, or let me put it this way, he has fulfilled a higher percentage of promises than any prime minister I have lived under. Yes, all politicians promise this and promise that. How many have delivered?
All right,
He has
Kevin.
delivered everything,
Yes.
but he has delivered far more than any other prime minister I have lived under. And that's a reality. The numbers are there to prove it. This is not my opinion. These are Statins numbers.
All
How
right.
are you going to argue the numbers? I
Let-
think most Jamaicans are going to say, yeah, well, the man deliver.
All right. We heard you loud and clear, Kevin. I want to get one more question in because I think you both have another engagement. And this is to Helene. What does this poll suggest about the PNP's current strategy and sort of visibility as an opposition party? And what do they need to do?
I have said for the last couple of years that the PNP's focus has been on fighting corruption, and that is good. But truth is, they have to be able to say to the Jamaican people what it is that the GLP is doing wrong and how it is that we will correct it. What are the programs that we are going to be putting in place? Are these programs, as announced, things that can, in fact, succeed and can, in fact, be delivered? Those are the things that people will want to hear, because people, they almost tune out with the promises if at the end of the day you cannot show how it is going to be delivered. So this focus on corruption, because again, people have the same view of both political parties that, it's not that one is seen as corrupt and the other is not. I think that it is a tactic that the PNP needs to reconsider, because I don't think it is going to get them the votes. It's not getting them the confidence of the Jamaican people, and I think they really need to re-examine the strategy, because I don't think it is going to deliver the votes and a victory for them.
Henene Davis Whyte and Kevin Chang, we thank you so much for your time this morning and your thoughts.
Thank you.
Have a good